The conviction of a Wisconsin gun owner on federal weapons charges is raising serious questions. Is the federal government undermining the constitutional right to bear arms and bringing the disproportionate weight of the federal government down on one of our citizens? Last night, we reported to you on the arrest and trial of Army veteran David Olesen, the father of three, a family man in Wisconsin and a community of 5,500 people. Tonight, we look at what some are calling the questionable methods used by the federal government to pursue the case and to prosecute Mr. Olesen. Bill Tucker has our report.
David Olesen's defense at his trial in January was simple. He had lent his Olympic Arms AR-15 to be used on a firing range. The 20-year-old gun fired two separate rounds of multiple shots and jammed each time. Olesen's lawyers argued that this is a problem in older AR-15s, not a crime. Initial testing by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives agreed.
The field agent for ATF didn't like that, so said, no, go test it again and use this different ammunition, which is easier to cause multiple firings if you have a malfunction.
A gun maker and an expert witness for the defense is critical of ATF's testing procedures.
Problem lies in that they don't have any written firearm testing standards. They decide the testing criteria on a case-by-case basis.
The ATF did find a malfunction. It's called a hammer follow, and it can cause a semi-automatic weapon to fire multiple rounds, just like it did in this semi-automatic test of a different gun fired by this ATF agent. It was enough to convince a jury to find Olesen guilty on the charge, transferring a machine gun. But the malfunction can also cause other problems, some of which can cause the gun to explode. A simple enough argument for fixing it, argue gun owners. What no one can or will explain is why the government brought the full power of the federal authorities down on Olesen, an honorably discharged Army veteran, a man who was serving in the Army Reserves at the time of his conviction, a man who still believes he will be cleared.
I still have confidence, that the legal system will work. We're not done with it yet. The process still has a couple more steps to go through. As far as my opinions of how things have been handled up to this point, we'll have to wait before I can give you those.
There are efforts underway in the Congress to correct the testing irregularities pointed out by the defense. The bill is known as the Fairness in Firearms Testing Act, or H.R. 1791. It would require all firearm testing and examinations be videoed by the ATF. Now, Lou Dobbs tonight contacted the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, who declined comment on the case, noting that it is still pending until Olesen is sentenced. Likewise, the U.S. Attorney's Office in Milwaukee also declined comment. Olesen's sentencing is set for May 15th. He's facing somewhere between 18 months and just over 6 years in prison, along with a possible fine of $250,000. And Lou, just a few moments ago, I did speak with the ATF agents again. They just say simply on the record they stand by their prosecution of Olesen, noting that they did prevail in court with a jury in finding the conviction.
Yeah, we've heard that before, unfortunately, and as much respect and regard as we have for the agents of ATF, someone, whether it's a U.S. attorney in Wisconsin, whether it is the senior levels of ATF, it seems has made a completely disproportionate judgment on prosecution here. This makes no sense on any level that we have been able to find.
No, I mean, it would be one thing if they could point to something and say, look at this. And they...
We're going to look at this and continue to look at this. We'll be talking with the National Rifle Association next week. We'll be talking with the congressional delegation of Wisconsin about this, and the U.S. senators of Wisconsin about this, and see what in the world is going on. This shouldn't be happening to a citizen in 2008. And it should in any year not happen to a citizen in the United States of America. Absolutely. Bill Tucker, thank you.